Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. We have another tip for you. It's time to talk about disclosures. You know, at the time you sell your house and you get a buyer in escrow, you will have to send over a pile of paperwork with your signature on it, their disclosures, and they're required for every house that gets sold. So we wanted to talk about probably the two most important disclosures. These are going to be your transfer disclosure statement and your seller property questionnaire. These, unlike the other disclosures that you'll be signing and giving to the buyer, are pertaining to your property specifically. So the question is, what do you have to disclose and why? If you worked with us in the past, you know that we are very detailed and we love our sellers to be detailed with their disclosures. The reason why is it protects you. The more you share about your home, the less liability on you. So what do you have to disclose? Let's talk specifics. I know we said everything, but whenever you're filling out these forms, one thing will remind you of another thing, and that's what we mean. If there's something that you think of, put it down on the paper, and you have to fill them out. It even says that the brokers are not allowed to fill out this form, aka your agents, and we can't advise specifically what to disclose and what not to disclose. It even recommends that if there's something you're unsure of disclosing, to consult a real estate attorney and find out what they would recommend. So the purpose of these forms is to tell the buyer any known material facts or defects about the property. It even says on the form things that are affecting the value or desirability of the property and to help eliminate understandings about the condition of the property. It also notifies you that what you find might affect the property or doesn't affect the property might be different in the buyer's eyes. So put yourself in the shoes of the buyer. What would you like to know if you were buying this home? The way the forms are made up is there's boxes of yes and no, and it asks you, are you seller aware of? And then it has several different questions, and you'll check yes, you're aware, or no, you're not aware. The first thing it asks you is if there's been a death on the property within the last 3 years. Some other things that it talks about is if you're aware of any illegal substances being on the property, any insurance claims that might affect the property, anything within the last 5 years. This is a big one. If you've made any alterations, modifications, or repairs on the home, including those that were covered by a home warranty. So even if something as small as getting the dishwasher replaced or fixed, maybe it had a leak, you'd want to disclose that yes, a couple years ago the dishwasher leaked and we got it replaced. Underneath the box, it says explanation. So if you answer yes to any of those questions, you would put an explanation here. However, if you've owned the home for any amount of time, it seems like that amount of explanation isn't enough. So we print out what's called an addendum to the SPQ and TDS, and it looks like this. So any of the yes questions that you answered on either of those two disclosures, you can put all of your detailed information here in this box. This is a real transaction that we recently did, and this is all of the stuff that we disclosed. The seller had a contractor come out to the home and recommend certain repairs. The seller opted to do some repairs and didn't do some other ones. So they actually disclosed what repairs were recommended by the contractor because those are potential defects that the contractor recommended to have resolved. But what if the buyer cancels because of the things I disclose? Wouldn't you rather have a buyer that knows what they're getting into and be happy to take it on versus a buyer that didn't know, buys the home, finds out there's all these things that you didn't tell them about it, and then they want to turn around and sue you? So for your protection, for your liability, disclose anything you know about the property. So whenever you're filling out these really important forms, make sure that you take your time, you think about it, think about any type of repairs, even if you painted, put it down on paper. It'll only protect you. So those are the two forms that we wanted to talk about today. There are, like I said, numerous disclosures that you'll be signing. Some of them are general disclosures, which we'll do another Tip Tuesday on that. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We love hearing from you, and we'll see you next Tuesday.